Pine cone jelly. Fir cone jelly, Hillbilly says. Or just cone jelly. Morning, folks. Went and got those pine cones. Now we gotta do something with them. So Cindy looked on the computer. We've never done this before, but the instructions aren't too complicated. They're funny looking with these little bristle furry things on them. Hey Cindy, so what you doing?
So I cleaned and washed off all the, whatever they are, pine cones. And now I've got to weigh out 3 pounds of sugar.
So what'd you say, like 5 pounds, 5 cups? 5 cups of pine cones and 3 pounds of sugar.
Yes. So then I put a plate on my little scale here, and it's close enough to 0, and I have to get 3 pounds.
Well, there's 1 pound. Might not be diabetic friendly.
Think? Yeah, think. £2.
If it turns out good, we'll have to send Hillbilly a little jar anyway, though.
3 pounds. So there's 3 pounds.
Gads, that's a lot of sugar.
I don't think those things are very tasty.
Huh?
I don't think they'd be very tasty.
Pine cones? No, I tried one, just picked right off the tree.
Yeah.
And it tastes very much like pine needles.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, it's not.
So now I need
Not at all
to add
sweet.
4 cups of water.
Okay. Four cups, you say?
Yep. You know why I think they have you do it now?
Huh.
I think because the pine cones have a lot of resin on them, oil or sticky stuff.
Uh-huh.
When I was cleaning them, I could get it. I had it all over my hands.
Now, the one thing I read said to soak them overnight in water, but this recipe doesn't tell you that. So these are picked today. Don't know. I think probably you soak them in water overnight, get any bugs out, but we don't care about bugs.
Push this down. Reading the recipe I have, and I've looked through some other ones, and they all basically say the same thing. You cook this until it starts to boil, I think about 20, 30, maybe 40 minutes the first time through. You take it off, let it completely cool. Cool. It has to be cooled, cool to the touch, not warm. Then you start all over again. Then you boil that for 30 minutes. Take it off the heat, let it completely cool to the touch, and then the last one through, the third one through, you reboil it, and by then it should start to jellify, they call it, and you can do the jelly test. And what you do is you put a plate in the refrigerator, get it cold, and you just take a bit of this and you put it on the plate like that. And if it runs, it's not cooked enough. So you got to keep. You can be up to 4 times to cook this to get it to the consistency you want. This first time through, it'll get a little brown, the water, once it starts cooking. The second time through, the pine cones will turn brown. This will, the water, actually the first time through the water will get cloudy. And the second time through boiling, it'll get, I bet, kind of brownish color. And then the pine cones will turn brown too. So the third time through, you should tell, I think it's kind of a, maybe a translucent color or slightly green. Don't know.
Interesting. Like I say, we've never tried this before, so it's going to be interesting. I can't imagine it really tasting all that good, but people say it is, so we'll find out here shortly.
Well, they say that a lot of Europeans, especially in Norway and those colder countries, would do this because of the amount of, I'm assuming, antioxidants and vitamin C, and they used it almost like a tonic.
Yeah. I know pine trees or fir trees have lots of vitamin C in them, which is kind of funny. You know, the Donners in California there, when they starved to death and everything, they could have ate a lot of the pine trees and things. They probably would have starved anyway, but it might have helped them out a little bit.
Well, look at the Indians and the Indian eating the bark off of the ponderosa pine.
Yeah.
They survived on it, and that's a survival mode. So.
Yeah. I can't imagine that tasting very good. I still want to try that one of these days, but kind of hate to cut a hole in a tree. I need to find one that's already got a hole and add to it. House smells like pine cones for some reason.
Or dog breath.
Or dog breath after they've been biting bushes.
So you let this boil 15 to 20 minutes, it says. Then you take it off the heat. As you can see, the little pine cones are kind of turning. They're not quite as green, bright, that vibrant.
Water still looks like water, though. They said after a little bit the water would turn kind of brown, but not yet. So what's for dinner, Cindy? Pine cones. Seems kind of like an odd thing to be cooking, but I guess it's supposed to be pretty good.
Like little monsters in there.
Yeah, they do. Turn a little more brown.
It's cloudy like it said it would get. So this is the first go around. It says to boil 15 to 20 minutes. Turn the heat off, let it cool completely. And then, as you can see, it did get cloudy like it said in brown. It's a total of basically 4 times on the heat. So now I gotta let this cool completely. It's an all-day adventure. You can see where it's turned kind of cloudy.
Smells good.
Mm-hmm. And this is, when this is cooled off on my little thing here, it's sticky.
Oh, taste that.
It doesn't really taste like pine cones. Yeah, maybe because it's just...
Yeah, you can kind of taste a little bit of pine cone to it, but it's sweet. Anyway, let this cool off and boil it again. Cool off, boil it again. Cool off, boil it again. I don't know, at least 3 or 4 times it said. Okay, this is the second boiling session. Took forever for this to cool off. Several hours. The water is starting to get a little bit darker. Pine cones are getting a little darker and smaller too, it looks like.
It's doing what it's supposed to.
They do look a little more brown.
They do look brown. The liquid looks cloudy. And then as you boil it and cool it, I'll let it cool overnight. I'll let this cool overnight and see what it looks like in the morning.
So it's the next day now. And how many boilings?
3.
3 boilings. Pine cones are brown. That stuff was real thick looking and brown. Okay, so show them your test thing.
It's not cold anymore. So they say, and it does work with all jams and jellies, I've used this before. You take this and just, and see how it doesn't really run? It stays put. So it's ready for to be put in my cans.
It's really sticky.
Yeah.
So, time to bottle this stuff up.
This is ready to be put in my jars. It doesn't say to water bath it, which I don't understand. Maybe because you make such small amount, you just put it in the refrigerator once it cools. So I've got my jars. I sterilized my jars here. And then this is a 1 cup metal measuring cup. And I did this just the one thing to warm it up and to sterilize it too. So it says to put a pine cone in it.
Yeah, that seems a little strange, but I guess they sell this commercially, and it says they always come with a pine cone or two in them. And
it does not make a lot. I bet you could maybe double the recipe.
yeah, I don't know why not. Really dark. I didn't expect it to be quite that dark.
I'm thinking I should have probably taken the pine cones out of it, but
Oh, you mean out of the pot? Mm-hmm. Oh, there's leave it in. Yeah, don't reach in there.
yeah, thought about it. Wait, I can't do that. And maybe because you heat your jars up like I did, and as they cool, they will vacuum sealed.
Yeah, that might be all it really needs.
So I'm going to take...
So the stuff that drips off, very, very sticky. But it is kind of good. I can't really think of what it really tastes like. It reminds me of something I've had before. Kind of tastes a little bit like your honey taffy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good though.
So this is what the pine cones look like when you get done cooking them.
They've gone from almost fluorescent green to kind of an army green. It says you can eat the pine cones too after they're all cooked down and everything, and they're supposed to be soft, and
They are soft.
it seems kind of weird to be eating pine cones.
Maybe that's what a lot of people did. Is in survival mode, cook them in. You
That-
could cook them down.
Yeah, that could be.
The green ones, at least.
I don't know. If the Indians ate bark, I don't know why we can't eat pine cones.
Well, I guess when they cool off enough, we can try them.
Try one.
The one thing I will say about this, it's very time consuming because of how you have to cook it. You have to cook it, let it cool, cook it, let it cool. Last night it was just getting late, so I let it cool overnight and got up and started it. And this is the last cooking, which was about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you do the test to see if it gelled, and it was probably closer to 40 minutes, and it had gelled.
Now the water comes up to a boil a lot quicker than it cools off. It took a couple hours for it to get cold again. And I think that's kind of part of it. They kind of sit in there and seep in between boilings. So I don't know. Seems kind of weird that you would boil them and then let it cool and boil it again and let it cool and keep doing that. I don't know. I think that's got to be the reason.
So we do have enough to make another batch. I'm going to do that. Since it's early enough in the day, I might be able to get it done. And my next thing I'm going to try and make is, it does seem kind of weird, but it's lemon, kind of a lemon jam made out of lemons. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, that sounds good too. That's another one we haven't tried yet. So this is what it looks like. It's thick. It's almost like honey. It tastes a little bit like honey. But to me, it tastes kind of a little bit almost like cloves. Cindy made some clove candy one time that kind of reminds me of that. It doesn't really taste like cloves, but it's similar. It doesn't. I kind of expected it to, taste like pine needles, and it doesn't. You got kind of a real slight pine type of taste to it, but I don't really know how to describe it other than it is good. We're definitely going to have to make some more of this. Like I say, it's real thick. Put that on in, and it flows, but it's about like honey would be. Interesting. Batch number 2.
Thanks for watching, and see you all tomorrow. Hopefully.
Bye.
Bye.